Joshy Lee, in his directorial debut, has his first full-length film called Boy in the Corner that is now premiering in the UK and hopefully will be coming to the US soon. Is this film any good, and should you be watching it? Find out my thoughts next. The crime drama film Boy in the Corner is about the backward system of society pushes another dream-filled boy to the curb. With his aspirations suppressed, he is at risk of falling into the attractive arms of gang life. The film stars Cyran Vergara, Victoria Shepard, Akil Largie, Shaun Pelayo, McLeod, Ewan Perry, Luka Arpino-Pereira, Jon-Paul Gates, and many others, and was directed by Joshy Lee. Before I start this review, I would just like to thank Joshy Lee for sending this film over to me, especially with the fact that this doesn't have a US release date. It's cool to watch a film before it actually gets released. And this film, I knew nothing about this film. I just knew the title. I didn't know what kind of genre it was. I didn't know what it was about. I went ahead and just went into it blind. And the film is all in black and white, which is really cool because you don't get a lot of black and white films these days. And it's really cool when a director can actually use the black and white aesthetic and actually pull it off. And I think with this film, he does pull it off. You're following this character named Miles. He's living with his mother and he has an absent father figure. She brings in a boyfriend. You can really see his resentment. It feels like she's not really giving him a lot of attention. He's also talking to this counselor that the school actually gives him, and the mother is actually involved in that as well. She really wants her son to be successful, and he's getting into fights in school. He's really having trouble getting his feelings out, and talking to a male figure when you don't really have a male figure presence in your life. I can see where this would be a more helpful thing for him, and he's having a lot of trouble with friends. He has some regular friends that he does have. They play basketball a little bit, but then he also is hanging out with these gang guys that are actually doing drugs and doing different crimes, and they are trying to welcome him in. So he feels like he's welcomed when he's in with this group, but he's also growing up not really having clothing and not really having food, not knowing where his next meal will be. And I think this is a really relatable topic. There are a lot of people out there that are in poverty and really don't know of someone to actually turn to, and they're struggling in life. They're struggling connecting. I think a lot of us really struggle to connect, especially growing up. You really don't know where you fit in, and especially during the 12, 13, 14 age, you're really trying to find your identity. Now, I'm not sure exactly how old Miles is in this film, but from what I can tell, it seems like it's more so early high school type age. And I think that's a really troubling time for a boy. And that's when you have that absence of a father figure. You really struggle with what you're really trying to do in life. You're dealing with a lot of change. And this film, it can feel really depressing, but I also think it really captures real life. I think it is absolutely perfect for this film because in the black and white aspect that they have with this film, not everything is always sunshine and rainbows. You don't always have color at the end of the tunnel. And I think that black and white aspect that they actually put in this film, there is a lot of gray days for Miles. He is not really having the best experience in life, and he really is trying to figure himself out. So when he is actually hanging out with these gang leaders and they are what he thinks accepting him for who he is and being all cool with him and being friendly, he is going down the wrong path. And because he is going down the wrong path, he has this counselor that is helping him out and really trying to get inside his mind. And I think that this counselor, he is a really good role model for him because he actually has some experience in gang life himself. So I think that he is a really good character and a really good role model for our lead here. I would say as far as negatives for this film goes, I would say the camera work is pretty good for the most part. I think there were like a couple shots that was a little bit of shaky cam, but it's really minor and it really doesn't affect the film as a whole. And I would say as far as tackling the subject of gang life, I would have liked to see a little bit more of that gang life, a little bit more of the crime aspect, a little bit more of things where Miles, may get in trouble a little bit more and really have this actual counselor pull him out a little bit more. I felt like by the time the end actually occurs, it seemed like it was a more simple solution than I think that it should have been, because I think when you are dealing with gang members, I don't think it's as easy as just going up to them and talking to them about a situation. I think it's a little bit more dangerous in that aspect. And the film, I don't think, captures the full actual portion of this dangerous situation that the boy is in. I think it definitely dabbles into it, but I don't think it fully is involved in it. And I did also notice that a few of the actual scenes where they're shot and we get to actually see the different emotions in the film, some of the shots are a little bit longer, I think, than they need to be. I think those shots could be trimmed down a little bit, and I think that there could have been something else put in the place of it. I don't think that the film is too long. I think the length of the film is perfect for what this film is trying to do. But I also think that, as I said, I think that if we had a little bit more with the gang portion and a little bit more of certain dangerous situations, I think that that would have added a little bit more to the film. And I would say that would probably be my negatives about this film. I thought the music definitely fit the film, and I think the acting overall of everybody in this film was pretty good as well. As far as a score for this film, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed what I watched on screen. I think this is a solid debut for a director, and I know that he's done a few shorts, but I really did enjoy this film and the aspect ratio and just how this film was actually put together. I just wanted a little bit more with the whole aspect of the gang life. I think that it's captured pretty well. I think that Miles is a really developed character. I think his home life and the counselor that takes him in under his wing, they're really developed really well. Those are my thoughts on this film. Thank you guys for watching this review. Let me know down in the comments, have you watched this film? Are you planning to watch it? Hopefully it will have a US release date soon. I've heard that it may come out in December, so we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next review.